Thank you for this blessing to be a blessing. I release all things that no longer serve me. I release all things that no longer serve me. I release all things that no longer work for me. I release all things that no longer work for me. Ooh. Ooh. Ashe.
Take a deep breath through her nose and out through her mouth, and recognize this glorious shaft of light that Johnnie has brought forth with her intention and her voice. Now open that beautiful flow of divine light. Thank you, Johnnie. So we begin our meditation today with these thoughts, releasing all that no longer serves us. We have said so many times that we are messengers. We are being here representing the future possibilities for being a way shower, the person illuminating and shedding truth and light at all times. And we're learning that when we go back and we are dragged into the drama of 3D, that it is more painful than ever. It's almost as if we've been with mankind and has been in an abusive relationship with humanity in our beautiful earth. And we are stepping out and saying, I choose to live from a place of love and integrity and joy. And I might have to leave the relationship with my old self even. We find ourselves projecting and blaming other people of, well, no wonder I'm not happy. I have this partner, I have this and this and this. And I remind you that everything is vibrationally driven. And you have put on that record and you have brought in that singer. That's your choir to sing and to show you who you are dancing with and making music with, of a disharmonious, misattuned with who you really are. So that's a deeper thought. If we're replacing everything, releasing everything that isn't light, we're talking about parts of our own personality. So this is a very, it's a affrontive. It's a big picture. Have you ever thought of it that way? You are not only releasing other activities and people, places, and things and the bad foods, but there might be a large percentage of your own personality structure and the ways that you have done things which is Johnny so beautifully saying, releasing all that no longer serves you. So our ego is saying, wait a minute, we're talking disintegration. How am I going to hold it together? What if it was okay to not hold it together? What if falling apart would be a wonderful thing? What if letting everything fall apart by your choice rather than waiting for a physical disease to come in and finally show you what you've been creating and all this resistance and what you've been up against? So we've been talking the last few weeks here in the Be the Light meditation. I'm Jan Jorgensen, Be the Light meditations here at Sound and Light Healing Arts. We've been talking about resistance. And it is our resistance in every moment that is causing the stress. And where does the resistance come from? Our assumptions, our truth. This is reality. This is life. This is how I see it. And all of that construct was created to live safely in a world based on fear and scarcity. So we're having to become naked, dressed down, take off all the old ways of thinking about ourselves, even how we physically dress, how we want to come across in the world. It's time for us to realize that anything that's bothering us out there is still undiscovered, unexamined within us. And we've done it stair-stepped. We've done it one issue at a time. We talk about learning to trust yourself. We learn about letting go of family lineages. And then we always drop into that sweet space of freedom and nothingness. And our goal is to stop doing it stair-step, but when we go in Wednesday and have that beautiful feeling of freedom, is to not let the gates, the constriction, and resistance come back. When I say resistance, this is what it is. It's something happens or even a thought and everything in your body says, that's not safe. I've experienced that before. That person, that situation, that weather pattern. And when I say resistance, it means your brain is sending out flight or fight neurochemicals and stress and cortisol, which is a death hormone. And you are creating a divisive, I'm not safe and I'm going on alert. And you know, I could take a picture. I got a new Aura app on my phone. I've prayed to get the $3,000 to get an Aura app. And if you were here, I would take the picture of your Aura and I could show you. When you are in your triggered resistant state, there is a color correlation. And you are not only poisoning yourself with all that anxiety and chemicals, but other people unconsciously see and register that you're in fear, you're not okay, you're not in charge of your own life, and you haven't taken the responsibility to fully work with that which is in your life that you're still resisting. So I hope all of that makes sense as we're now going to drop into a deep, full meditation today where we are letting go of the deeper last resistances. And they're the hardest. You know, we can let go of things, again, people, places, and things that just lightly bother us. But there are some core issues. I'm not good enough to experience this. I don't have enough money for this, or usually. We're going to drop in today and touch upon the thing that we have held, that our ego has held, that really is defined our safety zone and who we are and how we connect in the world. So, yes, we are moving along in the divine plan. the reharmonization, revibration of everything in the earth plane. And as I've said before, it is happening because of the work that you are doing in your own personal electromagnetic field. And we are coming together in community, and we're hastening, accelerating the release of old limiting human archetypes that have kept things very restricted and contracted towards fear on earth. So things really are moving, and it is time for us, those that have chosen to be beings of light, to speak and hold truth, to get serious and get down and to really work with the last bigger issues. So I can feel some of you are saying, oh, whoa, this could be scary. You mean I can, if I really let go, what'll happen? Well, you'll see. We let go of the ego construct, which causes all the resistance and the physical fatigue, the emotional fatigue, and the mental drama. When we are free of all of this, and we are simply in our presence, in our consciousness, which is where we go every week, and that's why you come back, because we together go into a state of freedom. And you know when you are in that state, all is well. There is a calm, and the biggest thing is there is an infinite trust that it's okay. You don't have to have that grasping ego control. Everything is going to work out. So here we are, we're coming from our everyday lives, our agendas, our challenges, our restrictive, and we're getting ready to drop in. But let's make two commitments before we drop into the meditation today. And one is that we're going to go deep and go into that vibrational ball of rubber bands that is at the core of our biggest boogeyman. I'm not safe. This has to be this way. That we're really, really, really going to go in there. And second, that we're going to make a promise and commitment to ourselves that we can hold this state minute to minute, no, second by second first, minute to minute, hour to hour, until we are seamlessly, smoothly in a neutral place, compassionate neutral place, and living our lives above the fray, where honestly we're more useful. We can think straight. We can deliver our thoughts without all that interference and agitation of the adrenaline. I mean, there's so many wonderful things. And so I'm going to ask you a question. Humans can only sing a song or imitate something that they've seen before. Chances are your parents weren't calm, enlightened, and neutral, and full of compassion. I know, I can feel you're laughing. But is there anyone in the landscape of your life, maybe it's a far-off authority figure, is there any human that models consistent freedom from ego, attachment, and drama? I want you to imagine that person, okay? Why? Because someday, when people are imagining that person, they're going to think of you. You're going to think and want what you're drinking, want to know what you are doing. And that's your greatest next step. First, you do it for yourself, and then there you are. You teach others to fish. You teach them how you became the light. So think about this. Is there any person, okay, take it down a notch, a person who didn't seamlessly 100,000% hold it, but a person who genuinely lived from their heart and was good? My Rick, they have an Uncle Bob, kind, joyful presence, lifted everything, and they all say never a negative word about anyone or anything. No resistance. He gave people a vision and a feeling of what was possible. So whoever this person is, thank them for giving you a vibration, a song of something that is available to you. If you can't think of another human, just think about the expanded state that we go in as a group every Wednesday morning, where we are free, and feel into that. Because you can't become the light unless you are feeling it and doing it, experiencing it. It is not a mental activity, it's in your gut. So feel into how every Wednesday we go in that space and we always say, oh, it feels like a slumber party. We never want to leave because this home is nicer than ours. We want to stay here. We want to feel at home. We want to drop in into our beingness in our body fully and deeply with freedom. Freedom so that our brain can let go of all that seizing. Freedom so our heart doesn't skip beats with all the frenetic. Freedom for our liver to cleanse and metabolize without all that stress to take out first. No wonder we age. They often say, the sages and divine masters, aging is a choice. And I'm here to tell you today, it's through our resistance that we age. So if you want to stay young and full of vitality, let's move into this vibration, this meditation now of freedom. Take a deep breath through your nose and out through your mouth. We ask and intend to set a sacred space, and we put our own body into a beautiful holon of balance. It is a geometric structure. And yes, we are allowed to remove everyone else's energy from our own energy field. Remove it now. Be free of other people's projections, assumptions, and stories about you. Strip it off. You're getting there. You're getting more free. Now release your own thoughts about yourself. Let it go. Release your own should list. The structure of behaviors that you do that you think will keep you safe, but actually are just habitual patterns of sameness and part of the stuckness. Take a deep breath. We ask and intend that we feel safe even imagining doing this. Now we are releasing these habitual structures. It takes 21 days to get a habit. We are releasing any habit that came into our beingness, because we did it for 21 days, that no longer serves us, right, Johnnie? We release habitual thoughts, knee-jerk reactions, primal programming in our midbrain of all reactive states that are no longer applicable, that no longer serve you as a light worker here to show up differently than others. Take a deep breath, and to release all fear that there's something strange, unusual, or not okay to show up differently. Because even though you say you want to be the light, there's a part of you that is still a little hesitant. How will I fit in? Will people think I'm different or weird? Will I lose the friends, the stability that I have in my life? Will I get unbalanced and be unable to write a check or do the basic daily living things? We ask and intend that we go right to the heart of our fears of being light in this ball of rubber bands, and we ask that they loosen up their grip, the fear, the stories, your historical book of you of fears that have led to all these habitual behaviors, limitations, and contractions. We ask you to be opened now, lovingly and gently, teased open and shown for what it is. Constructs. Temporary constructs that no longer serve you. Imagine that this home that you're imagining in your heart doesn't need big, strong foundational pillars stuck into this earth with those old stories anymore. Imagine that you are releasing the 4 pillars, piers of this home that is you, your consciousness, residing within your heart, and that you are hovering a bit above it all. But you are not informing your systems by being in it. It would almost be like being in Florida during the hurricane and just hovering a little bit above it and holding yourself with the spaciousness that it passes right through. And those old piers that you thought that would keep you safe, no, you don't need them. You don't need them. What is coming from mankind, the opportunity to live in the 5th dimension, you do not need these huge, old, heavy piers of fear-based structures. So imagine that you are taking the focus of your attention deep into your heart, and you are residing there safely and building a home. Home is where the heart is. Good one. And take a deep breath and know that as we move forward as a species, there will be a sense of lightness, of flowing, and this is what you are reattuning yourself to now. So take a deep breath. And in this house that you are creating, and notice, there does not need to be dysfunctional old parents and reliving that story. We forgive our parents, we release them. We forgive our brothers and sisters, we forgive our partners, we forgive our children, and we forgive ourselves for simply not understanding that we could do something different. And for passing up the opportunity over and over and over again because it didn't make sense, but now understanding, residing in this presence is the only thing that makes sense. And that you are drawn to this like a moth to a flame because it is the only trustworthy, sustenance-giving, endlessly resourced place to reside as a human, moving forward, creating a new paradigm of freedom and light. The change begins with you. So as I am speaking, notice how you are feeling within your body, within your mental, and within your emotional. And we ask and intend, if there's still some chaotic movement, we ask and intend that we come to the 0 point in all of our mental activity now. You don't even have to know what 0 point is, but it's definitely a physics, mathematical component of your physicality residing on this earth in this moment. So we are bringing the mental to a 0 point. You ask, how can Jan keep talking? I am speaking from the 0 point of my consciousness. I am collecting what each of you on the call most needs to hear, and I am, what do you call it? Not collaborating, comprising, creating. I'll think of the word in a minute. They give me words sometimes it doesn't quite drop in. It's a word, mixing things together and delivering a vibrational message in the form of human words so that it will land into the very 0 points of your body that are need a little tweaking. So that's my role. I am my vibrational, kind of like fine tuner, bring in, comb those little stray electromagnetic streamers running through you all frayed, and to plug them into your 0 points and to deliver frequencies delivered by very high intentional beings belong way beyond me to stream through me to land into your 0 points to empower you as a more coherent, strong force of truth, compassionate, neutral presence to assist humans on earth to co-create a new reality. And that's it. That's your role. That's my role. Any questions? It's fairly simple. So we do these processes over and over. And I hope that you, as I'm speaking, are becoming more and more comfortable in this state of nothingness. And then now often when we come back into our physical body, I feel everybody saying, well, now it's back. That was that, and it's back to this. No, we just dropped in and went to very, 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 very deep unraveling. In fact, let's go a little deeper. Rational. Let's say that if we just went 80% deep to get rid of anything you need to cling on to for your habitual fear-based structures. You see how humorous it becomes when we're in these expanded states? Let's go back in for that last 20%. Breathe into it, the divine light, and we simply say, I ask and intend to release all of this vibrational profile, templates, historical junk that no longer serves me, right, Johnny? No longer serves me. Take a deep breath, and simply by asking, you are letting it go. And often this stuff is in between your first and second chakra. It's real survival stuff, real deep home survival belonging, and let it go. And now notice, do you feel even a little bit lighter but still safe? Take your attention to your sit bones. I'm still in this physical body. Yes. Okay. Now go ahead and just rub your fingers together and notice. I'm in my big girl or big boy consciousness, but I actually am rubbing my fingers together and I can feel. I'm still in my expanded state. Now go ahead and open your eyes. This is the big test because 80% of everything we experience is visual, sensory. Open your eyes and don't focus on any one thing. I'm not looking at that counter and saying, does it need crumbs? No, I am staying with me. I am staying in my heart. I am seeing life in soft focus. I'm not seeing it with my flight or fight eyes. I am seeing it from way back up here. Eagle's view, the spiritual view, above it all. Now, you're going to have to retool how you think of yourself as grounded. In the past, grounded in a certain way. This is the new grounded. Feel your body. Go ahead and poke yourself, okay? You can feel your body, but you do feel different. You do feel a little bit different because you are referencing your physical vehicle as just that. It is not in charge anymore. Your old physical flight or fight brain is not at the helm. It is not in charge anymore. Your consciousness is. The new, expanded you, experiencing things. Things aren't coming into your field quickly and you're responding. No. There's a big buffer. There's a buffer about that thick, about 3 feet thick. You are witnessing and you are deciding what to experience from your new, calm, trusting state. And this is a place of mighty, joyful co-creation. It's where you don't say yes to everything. You wait, you feel it, your heart, and then you decide. Now, don't worry, other people aren't going to think you slowed down because you are in angel time. And angel time, everything happens much faster in a higher vibration. So people won't notice that you're taking quite a pause because you are vibrating, thinking, processing faster, and they are still in the earth domain. So I want to invite you another thought while you're still filling into this and feeling the new grounding. Imagine if you're sitting in a circle of other people who are also in their hearts or consciousness, vibrating very highly, and you all have a thought of, well, let's co-create this. Boom. That is how the new initiatives to create a world that turns around climate change, resourcing new renewable energy sources, houses that work, people that are happy, everything changes when you bring together three or more, bringing in divine light. You are in the flow of co-creation with the universal. It's like you get the golden ticket of creation. And at that point, what do I want to create? What do I see? Harm to none, good for all. And it's not selfish, it's not showing off, it's just doing good. Many of the women I know spend their time solo or in small circles, moving energy, going into very high states of vibration, and moving the planet towards more truth and good. Think about the potential for you. And not only can you be more powerful in a small group, and that's why I talk about the soar circles all the time. You're much more powerful, but do it for yourself, for your own happiness and your own family and that which you hold dear first as well. So just take a deep breath and imagine all I'm saying and trying it on with the truth meter. How does it feel? Does this feel true? Does it feel possible? And am I today just bringing a new song, a new image that you can move into and feel and trust it and hold it? So let's talk about holding this vibration, okay? I've said before that these meditations can last about 3 days, and it depends on who you're with and the conversations and your thoughts, your resistance, your reaction. So let's make a commitment to ourselves. We ask and intend that when I press stop record, we talk a little bit, we go off, that we will hold this buffer. We will hold it as a visual, and we will stay in our heart and have a buffer from the lower vibrational old world things, the ones we've shedded and that other people are still doing because frankly, we haven't mastered enough to show them and to hold it enough where they can do it. See how it works? Someone's got to do it, so we're doing it. And you must hold it. It's like being on a diet, okay? We know that's hard. This is your willpower. If you can hold one pure divine thought for 21 seconds, your vibration goes through the roof. 21 seconds. 21 days. I don't know what about the 21, but it's tried and true scientifically. 21 days. You stay in your heart I don't care what it takes. Write it on your forehead. I stay in my heart and my consciousness. I am out of resistance. Have a card. Make a symbol. Whenever my vibration feels lacking, I have this beautiful spray. My friend made it. It works. I don't know. It's magical because I believe it's magical. Give yourself a tool. Give yourself an anchor. And you know you're not doing it if what? You feel emotionally ruffled. Someone comes in and you're like, oh, I'm being tested. Take a breath. Do we need that fight? Do we need to be right? How about letting that person? My partner this morning, he said upset stomach, and I took him a piece of white bread. That's all we have in the house. We've both been gone. Butter. And he looked at it and he said, oh, I don't want to eat white bread. And I'm like, do you want to starve? You haven't had any food. I had all these reasons. And I thought, just let this guy choose what he puts into his mouth, Jan. Zip it. And I did. And it felt so good. Just let people be who they are, because the minute we're judging them, we're out of their zone and we're not being an example of how we want them to be. Do you see how it's actually, is it larceny, or it's a farce? If we're judging them, we have no right to judge them because we want them to be more like us, and we're not being the us that we want ourselves to be. It really is humorous when you look at it in this sense. Okay, so we're making a commitment, whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. Some of you have been coming to this meditation for 5 years straight, every single week. I know. Not that I keep a scorecard. Yeah, I have a little star. There's Joe, there's Alvin, even coming on the road. But let's just face it. It's a moment-to-moment decision. And next week when we meet, maybe I'll ask, how long did you hold the expanded state of freedom? So take a deep breath. We've done this all pretty much our own power. We haven't even gone to the next stage of the meditation. But I think because Johnnie opened with this shard of light in heaven, the divine light's already through. But if any moment you need a little extra support or tweaking or vibrational bath, we simply ask and intend to imagine that we are opening our crown chakra, and the Creator's been listening with humor, I know. A beautiful, beautiful, beautiful ball of light for each of us that holds exactly what each of us needs right now. And let this ball of light, frequencies, that's everything's vibration, hover over the top of your head. And now breathe it in and let it gently sink down into your skull, into your brain, behind your eyes. Feel the calming, loving. You're back in the fold. You're raising your vibration. You're synchronizing everything. With any little part of yourself that's not quite on board with all this, just let it sink in. And let it sink in to your intracellular intelligence and matrix, right down deep into your tissues. And believe me, when you're receiving highlights, anguish, agony issues can't exist. That's why most people pray to get rid of pain. So take a deep breath. Any old pain, just let it go. Let it be washed away and out of your field, and let that energy go. And we ask and intend that it go into the stardust and become new creations, that we're not just sloughing off junk that's going to float around other beings to connect to. Because to be honest with you, every thought has an energetic beingness and form and is never lost. So we ask that anything that needs to be released, not of our highest good, is released, but transformed instantly. Take a deep breath and let it just wash through you at even deeper level. This is a deep bath. And I encourage you after this meditation, if you can go take a bath with Epsom salts, a nice shower, or go out in nature, touch a tree, and really freshen up and get grounded and make this experience real in your soma, in your body. Take a nice deep breath through the nose and out through the mouth. We are coming to the finish line of this meditation. So, to help us hold it, we're going to put a beautiful golden resilient egg around our energy field. And just imagining this helps us be insulated from other people's stuff in the world and the news. Not that we should even listen to the news. I just look on the internet occasionally. Okay. We don't need to partake of the frenzy anymore. And it is not becoming for you as a light worker. And essentially, it doesn't work. It detunes you. And that's what these Be the Light meditations are about. So let's hold this energy within ourselves. I'm going to press stop in just a moment on this part, the me talking part, and then we can have conversation in the community or hellos or checking in or welcome new people. Thank you for joining me. I am Jan Jorgensen, and all of these are recorded faithfully, except for one time at the Old Faithful Inn where I got the hours wrong. Sorry. At soundandlighthealingarts.com.